Ladies with gentle hands, welcome to the channel, and this time last year I attempted a 24-hour challenge for charity where I tried to get 10 platinums in 24 hours. Of course, like every good challenge, we needed to set some rules. The platinum selected for this challenge could not be any grubby shovelwear games, nor could their completion time be below 30 minutes. As a rule of thumb, I set a target for 9 out of the 10 games to be at least 2 hours long, with one game being 8 hours long. If you do enjoy platinum trophy hunting, please consider dropping a like and also subscribing to the channel. It really helps boost me in that pesky algorithm. With all of that said, 10 platinums in 24 hours, can I do it? Let's find out. Okay, that's not good, is it? That's not good. The game crashing. Please, 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 please do not spite us like this, please game. I honestly cannot believe it. The dream is over. So we started our challenge at 12 PM on the 30th of November, and this would run through all the way to the 1st of December, 12 PM as well. It sounds weird saying 12 PM, lunchtime essentially. For this 24-hour challenge, I did not have any sleep, so I was continuously gaming for 24 hours straight, which was definitely something I've never done before.
Ooh. You're hard, showing off.
The first game to start our challenge was an indie banger called Raise in the Light, and I thought I would ease myself into this challenge slowly with a nice psychological thriller walking simulator. The platinum was fairly straightforward for this game, like most walking sims are, and it is rated a 1 out of 10 for difficulty and can be completed in 1 to 2 hours. You can follow a guide of course to speed things up, or you can freely explore the eerie world and stumble across trophies naturally. The main thing to note is that there are 2 different endings for this game which do require some setup. The only issues I had with the game is that one area of the game requires you to navigate through complete darkness, which was honestly a nightmare. Apart from that annoying area where I couldn't see anything, the overall platinum was a breeze, and I would recommend trying this one out for yourselves. And I actually achieved this platinum in 53 minutes, so I kind of speedrun the game with a guide actually to achieve this quick time. And that left me with 23 hours and 7 minutes remaining of this challenge to get 9 platinums.
Это отголоски нашей многогранной истории.
Platinum trophy in the Raise in the Light. Let's go. Let's go, chat. We've got 1 out of 10 trophies, chat. Let's go. Woo. Next up was Etherborn, and I have to say that this is one of the most impressive games I've ever played. And if you've been around on the channel watching my live streams and other videos, you'll know that I really dislike puzzles in games. Not only that, I really dislike puzzle games in general. However, this game gets a free pass for how cool it was. Etherborn is an environmental puzzle platformer built on exploring and understanding gravity shifting structures, which leads to some crazy puzzles and also solutions. There is a new game plus, like mode, which is compulsory for the platinum, but it does actually switch up some elements of the game, which I did appreciate. I'm unsure of the platinum rating for this game. If you are following a guide, of course it would be a 1 or 2 out of 10, but maybe I would score this slightly higher to a 4 or 5 if you went in completely blind. Across the board, I did have a lot of fun with this game and clocked the platinum in 2 hours and 7 minutes, which left us exactly with 20 hours left of this challenge with 8 more platinums to go. Doctor Who: The Lonely Assassins was up next, which again was quite an interesting title. I believe this was originally a mobile game which has since been ported to consoles. This game genre bounces around quite a lot. It's marked down as a found phone mystery game, but also an indie and also a horror puzzle game. Essentially, it's a text-based point and click game. This is rated a 2 out of 10 and can take you up to 3 hours to complete. There are quite a few missable trophies, so be sure to watch out for them. The game starts with our character picking up a random phone and failing to enter the correct passcode, obviously, and then the phone proceeds to get hacked by Petronolia Asgood. I think I've said that right. Being honest, I don't really know who that character is, whether it's canon to the show or just made up for this game, but I do know that this game follows the episode loosely called Blink, and if you don't know what that episode is, it featured the Weeping Angels, and I can speak for most children in the UK that back when we watched this definitely caused some trauma. This game is a must play for any Doctor Who fans, and it also adds more to the story, which is quite interesting from my playthrough. The game mostly plays the same throughout with a great narrative tale, but also breaks away with some light puzzles and mini-games. I don't want to spoil anything if you're interested, but overall I did actually enjoy this title and would recommend checking it out. I managed to speedrun this in 1 hour and 26 minutes, and that left me with 18 hours and 34 minutes for the remaining platinums. Come on, come on, come on, come on. There we go, Clever Clogs. That is platinum number 3, chat, out of the 10 platinums in 24 hours challenge. Let's go. Game 4 of this challenge was quite an interesting title and I was really excited for it. This was Amanda the Adventurer, and since playing this title the popularity has continued to grow, and I can promise you this game isn't what you think it might be. Oh my god. Oh my god, this is... Children, close your eyes. Oh my god. Oh my god, I've got chills. Literal chills, what the... What? Oh my god.
The patient is getting rowdy. I'll need a little help here. Help me, please.
Chat, what? What? What the f... What? I've played some silly games on the channel such as Peppa Pig and My Little Pony and Race with Ryan, but this was far from any of those childlike games. Despite the innocent look of this, don't be fooled, as this game isn't as childlike as it might seem initially. This has plenty of horror elements. There isn't a trophy guide on PlayStation profiles, but there is an online guide that I used at the time, and this rates the game between a 1 and 2 out of 10, which I think is fair. In terms of getting the platinum, it was fairly straightforward with a guide, and I would recommend playing this through blind for the first time unless you're on a time crunch like I was. The trophies are somewhat self-explanatory, and you'll need to complete tasks, find items, meet friends, and also learn about the weather and experience multiple different endings. It took me only 45 minutes and 28 seconds to achieve the platinum, which left me with 17 hours and 49 minutes to collect 6 more shiny platinums. This challenge is starting to look quite easy, am I right? There we go, chat. That's platinum number 4 of the challenge. Jeez. Raven's Hike was the next game that I decided to play, and at face value, this game seemed somewhat easy. It had a 16% platinum rarity, and the guide online showed it being completed in 37 minutes.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
This quirky 2D platformer looked really cool and not a title that I'd usually play, so I was excited to experience this. However, I was humbled very quickly and found out that 1, this game was above my skill ability, and 2, the person completing the guide was a skilled veteran in the genre and at the game. Fuck. Fuck! Oh, jeez Louise. Yes! So after some time on the game and failing miserably, I decided to move on to the next game to keep my momentum, and I would revisit this game later on when the time pressure wasn't as much. I spent around 40 minutes on this game and was still virtually at the beginning, bearing in mind that one guide completed this in just 37 minutes. This left me with just over 17 hours to get 6 more platinums. I'm conceding with this game. We'll come back to it. We'll come back to it. It's a 16%, so it's not even the hardest one to get, which is kind of crazy, right? Let's move on to a different game though. For my next game, I needed what I thought would be a quick and easy win, so I thought I would play Waifu Impact 2. If you've been subscribed to the channel for some time, you'd know in the early days of my streaming career, I played the original Waifu game, and that experience was quite questionable. Interestingly enough, at the time of this challenge, this game didn't really have any trophy guides available, but there was one guide on YouTube which was in Spanish. My Duolingo streak of 1,384 days really did come in clutch when trying to understand what was needed. I assumed that this game would be very similar to the first one and only take around 1 to 2 hours, but I was quite wrong with this. Waifu Impact 2 did what any sequel would do, and that is add way too much content which feels unnecessary at times, alongside there being no real explanation on how to get any of the trophies. I can't lie, this game felt like a bit of a step down in comparison to the first one, and for the platinum you'll need to collect all of the characters, visit all of the islands, unlock all of the skins, and reach 5 hearts of any character, and also complete a light puzzle, which I have no idea what that meant and how to even do it. It was just super confusing at the time. Being completely real, how do people work out puzzles when there's nothing to go by? There's like pieces of poo on the ground. I'm so stumped. And then you need to 100% an island, which means finding all of the collectibles which can be hidden really well, alongside finding all of the waypoints which act as save and fast travel points for each island. It's fair to say that even the sweet jiggle mechanics couldn't boost my morale for this game. I didn't have much fun with this, and the game that I thought would take me 1 to 2 hours in fact took me 3 hours and 9 minutes to complete, which slowly in my mind started putting me behind in the challenge of where I wanted to be, and I really wanted to be as efficient as possible on the next games if I had any hope of completing the remaining platinums needed. I had 14 hours left on this challenge. Platinum, please. Waifu Master, that is me, chat. Thank you very much. That is platinum 5 out of 10. So we're halfway through the challenge, chat.
Because you've broken the law. What you've done is illegal.
Yeah. Now I'm panicking.
Don't panic.
No, I am, because I'm going to lose my job.
The next platinum I attempted was Creepy Tales Some Other Place. And if you're not familiar with this game and franchise, then let me enlighten you. This particular title is an adventure puzzle game which intertwines a grim fairy tale. This game follows the main protagonist Martin.
Shit on it!
He unexpectedly finds himself in some other place far from home. This game will send you on an epic journey and try to get you back home. You'll meet weird and wonderful creatures, torment miners. Alright, alarm clock, torment a miner. Okay, that's an interesting trophy, that, isn't it? Kind of want to make a joke, but I don't really I don't really want to. I'll leave that to Dr. Disrespect, right? And even put your magic hands to good use. I think I might be sick. I think I generally might be sick. This is actually disgusting. Oh, I feel so uneasy. Imagine like this is your missus's foot, bruv. This is oh. Skillful hands. We got the massage, chat. That was great. Again, in terms of the platinum journey, this didn't have a PlayStation Profiles guide, but it was fairly straightforward to do, and I followed a video guide from the Welsh Hunter. I would give this game a difficulty rating of 2 out of 10. Nothing is overly hard, you just need to make sure you complete the relevant miscellaneous trophies as they present themselves, alongside making sure that you scream into all of the wells, which acts a bit like a collectible trophy. I really had a lot of fun with this title, and I would advise you experience this game for yourself, of course playing it blind. This was, funnily enough, the 4th entry of the series, so I have at least 3 more of these games to play, and this took me 1 hour and 47 minutes to complete, which left me with 4 platinums and 12 hours and 13 minutes left of the challenge. I was basically at the midpoint of this challenge and was feeling really good about the remaining games that I have left. This is also a great reminder if you haven't liked the video already, and maybe consider subscribing to the channel, it really does help me out. As this challenge spanned from the 30th of November to the 1st of December, I really wanted to get a Christmas game in the bag to get into the holiday spirit. The next game objectively might be my favourite platinum of the challenge looking back at things. The Grinch Christmas Adventures was up next, and this platformer was the perfect length of time to play for a Christmas experience. The Grinch is a platformer game which is actually surprisingly a good one. Whenever I see a movie or TV show licensed game, I do have some PTSD from the abominations that Game Mill has previously pumped out.
Oh, no.
Once again, this didn't have a PlayStation profile guides, but it did have a Welsh Hunter video guide, so I had that up in the background, and you could say that this game is probably a 2 out of 10 for difficulty. I do feel like you could play this without a guide, as it is a fairly simple game to do, but all you'll need to do is complete all of the levels, grab all of the puzzle pieces in each level, as these act as collectibles, and they will also unlock some new abilities which are also tied to trophies, such as double jumping or using a candy cane lasso. There isn't much more to say about this game besides I thoroughly enjoyed myself. It took me 2 hours and 24 minutes to complete, which left me with 9 hours and 49 minutes of the challenge and 3 platinums away from glory. There we go, the feast. Let's go, chat. Puzzles, and then we should be getting that platinum trophy. We should be getting it. We should be getting it. Drumroll, please. Awful, wonderful idea. Lovely stuff. That is the platinum for the Grinch game as well. So that is platinum number 7. We are about 14 hours in and 6 minutes, chat. So it's squeaky bum time now. I've got about 10 hours to get 3 more platinums. Can we do it? The next game that I played in the early hours of the morning was The Devil Inside Us: Roots of Evil. Quite fitting to go from a lovely Christmas game to a horror game. This game at the time of doing the challenge had under 100 owners on PSNP, and then at the time of recording this video 1 year later it's gone up to 149 game owners, and I can truly understand why. The brightness on this game was the biggest enemy that I faced instead of the demons trying to crawl up my butt. There was a bunch of miscellaneous trophies related to completing different tasks through the game. Luckily, if you follow a video guide, which I would definitely recommend, as this game is quite terrible to navigate, it would be a 2 out of 10 in difficulty. It is fairly easy to get through a few of these sections in the game, but it is completely dark at points and you really can't navigate, which is a problem that I find with a lot of indie titles. The brightness is just really bad sometimes and you can't adjust it. Like, how are you meant to see? It's honestly crazy. Like, generally, chat, how am I meant to see a cellar door? It's not that. That is ridiculously dark. Like, what on earth? That's so stupid. Essentially, this game is about a house that is cursed and you will play as a priest trying to save a family living there. Over the course of the game, you do uncover the history of the house and the awful things that happened, from finding documents and keys to hidden rooms in the basement which uncover more secrets. In terms of the trophies, there are some collectibles that you'll need to get, however these can be cheesed right off rip at the start of the game. You can collect the same secret 6 times just by reloading the game, and that will grant you free trophies. Now, the reason for doing this is that those collectibles grant you infinite faith and stamina, which will be needed to make this as easy as possible. Faith is essentially ammo, by the way. The story does start a little bit slow, but isn't a bad one in fairness. I guess the only real difficult part of this game was the last boss fight, which did take me a considerable amount of time to do, as you're literally fighting in the darkness, which is just awful. Like, how is that fair? Resist, come on. Get out. We did it! We fucking did it! Let's go! I think that was it anyway. Come on! That was honestly awful, that boss fight. This whole game has been pretty awful, to be fair. But after 56 minutes in hell, the platinum was mine and I could move on to the biggest game of this challenge with 8 hours and 53 minutes left. So just for context, I have 2 games left to platinum, my 8-hour long game and then also Raven's Hike, which we know I'm really bad at. So in theory, I've got 8 hours to do the long game and 53 minutes for the game that I started but couldn't complete. I did just want to thank everybody that came to the stream last year, and members of the channel. There is actually an uncut version of this which is about 3 hours long, and it's got all of the clips and things like that and great moments from the stream itself. But the charity that I was doing this for was Mind UK, which is a mental health charity, and we raised an amazing amount of money, so thank you everybody that contributed last year to this. So my 8-hour game for this section of the video is South Park Snow Day, and I did actually give away a signed copy of this, which probably increased the value of the game drastically, as it was only worth about a tenner I think I picked it up for. But by reaching one of the milestones for donations, this was, you know, one of the things that I gave away, which was absolutely amazing, so thank you everybody for that. And I've always been curious to pick up South Park Snow Day, as I've played all of the other South Park games and platinum them, but I do know that it was scrutinized by the masses at launch, but I still wanted to play it. As I said, I picked up this game for £10 on Amazon, so even if it was bad, I couldn't really complain too much as it was only a tenner. On average, people have reported earning this platinum in around 8 hours, while some people have got the platinum in 4 to 6 hours. Of course, this being a platinum challenge, I am against the clock, and I knew it wasn't going to be realistic to speed the game in around 4 hours, as I didn't have any preparation and this was my first time playing the game blind. And also, I'm not very good at video games. Fuck's sake, I don't understand. All we need to do is kill him with a melee attack while invisible, and it doesn't fucking work on any of the bosses. We tried it on Cartman, we've tried it on him, and it just doesn't hit. Like we're generally done. We're done for. We're done for. GG's. GG's. The dream is over. I honestly cannot believe it. Like, how can I operate when the team goes down? Oh, this game is lucky I can do that. But like, what the fuck? How have these people gone down when there's like that? Like nothing. This game has been the jammiest game like for me ever. I honestly can't believe it. I was hoping to clean this up slightly sooner than the average gamer, however, as I still did need to revisit Raven's Hike to complete this challenge successfully. South Park Snow Day doesn't inherently feel like a bad game. I just feel like the previous 2 games in the series set really high expectations, and the 3D art style of this game doesn't help things either. I reckon I would have enjoyed South Park Snow Day a bit more if I wasn't trying to speedrun this game like a madman. The only real issue with this game was that a lot of the trophies were related to getting the right RNG for BS cards, which were needed to speed up some of the trophies in the game, and also my NPC counterparts would get the last hits on enemies, and for context, for a fair few of these trophies you are required to get the final hit on an enemy using a specific move, and that would get you a trophy. So if your teammate gets the hit on it, you don't get the trophy, then you have to reload the entire game and play through the entire level to get to the boss fight in the hopes that you would actually land the last hit and get the trophy. So we've been done dirty, right? We've hit Cartman with an invisible attack. That's trophy 1 that's not popped. We did the hardcore trophy, didn't pop. We did the tap the maple syrup, didn't pop. It's frustrating that a couple of trophies aren't popping for us and the game has just crashed. This is, you know, it's not looking good, bruv. I ended up reloading this game several times to get a lot of these trophies, which was highly annoying, but the worst of all was a speedrun trophy in chapter 3, which requires you to speedrun the level in 25 minutes and defeat Stan. If I'm not mistaken for this, the speedrun itself was quite tough and annoying, but not only that, I think you needed to land the final hit on Stan in the boss fight as well to get the trophy, so I found myself repeating this several times. Let's fucking go, chat. We got it. We did the speedrun. Let's go. And then with all of the unfortunate reloading of chapters that I needed to do, time was slowly slipping away from me. At one point in this challenge, I was on track for getting a 6-hour platinum, but there were 2 trophies that really stood in my way. Since completing this challenge, they have actually made some of the requirements for one of these trophies easier, and that's for killing 10 vampire kids. You can now download an add-on that makes this easier, but at the time of doing this 1 year ago, you had to either wait for an RNG drop in a BS card that turns enemies into vampires, or just replay the tutorial. The introduction of any game can be quite long, and it was very time consuming, and that ultimately led to my demise of this challenge. I had around 1 hour left of this game, and I still had 1 more game to complete, and I was still reloading the tutorial several times. Not only that, there was another difficult trophy called No Tears, Only Dreams, and that requires you to be invisible and defeat a human boss. So you need to load up the relevant chapter where there's a human boss, and you also need to get the correct RNG drop at the start of the round called Invisible. This BS card makes you invisible, if you couldn't guess, and what you'll need to do is progress the level to get to the boss fight at the very end, and then as you get to the boss fight, you'll need to make sure that you get the very last hit on the boss while being invisible. You can probably guess that every time I attempted this goddamn trophy, my teammates would get the last hit, voiding me from the trophy. So yeah, no point dragging this one out.
Tactical nuke incoming!
I failed the challenge, and that is mainly down to being super unlucky with the South Park trophies. Trash! Even if things did swing my way, I would have had maybe about an hour to go back and complete Raven's Hike. But let's be real, I never had the skill to complete this game in the first place. This is what I mean. This has happened to me on every single boss fight. Like, something has happened. Like, something like that has happened, meaning that we can't get it. We've even had the last hit and they must have done an arrow. The worst thing about this is I'm so close to the platinum. It's honestly the worst bit about it. You might be wondering what my forfeit was for failing the challenge. So for every platinum that I failed, I would donate £10 to Mind UK. So I donated £20 alongside some PlayStation codes and also channel memberships to the viewers in the live chat. We set a goal of £250, which was smashed quickly by the amazing viewers last year. And in total, £310 was raised. So thank you everybody who donated last year. Your generosity is definitely appreciated and you definitely helped change some lives. Of course, if you would like to see me attempt some other challenges similar to this or completely different, be sure to like, subscribe, and also let me know down in the comments below what you'd like to see. Maybe on the next challenge I'll be a little bit more successful. If you would like to watch some more platinum hunting related content and also challenges, then maybe click on screen or check out the channel for some more videos. Have you seen that I've earned a platinum trophy from every year? Anywho, stay safe everyone, and I'll catch you all on the next one or in a live stream. Bye bye.